I was shocked to discover that the richest person in town, who supposedly spent $5.6 billion on a yacht for their adopted son, was actually my biological parents. At that moment, everything I thought I knew was shattered since I was little. I always knew my family was poor beyond measure. Our meals were scraps my parents dug out of garbage piles. Despite this, I never complained. Instead, I vowed to study hard and one day give my parents a better life, to not disappoint their expectations. I worked hard and eventually became the city's top scorer. But on the day the results came out, I was diagnosed with late-stage stomach cancer due to years of malnutrition. The doctor told me I only had 1 month left, thinking I wouldn't be able to care for my parents in my final days. I decided to use the last of my time to save money for them. I carried hundreds of boxes of red wine just to earn $200 while I listened to people around me discuss the down payment for a yacht for their adopted son. I felt no envy because I had the best parents in the world. But when the richest family arrived and I saw their faces, my heart broke, just like the red wine spilled on the floor. The manager scolded me for breaking the wine and ordered me to apologize to the richest family, but my father didn't care at all. He casually said, "It's just a few bottles worth a couple $100,000. It's fine if they're broken." When I heard this, I couldn't help but recall the times when I didn't want to eat rotten food as a child, but my parents would always scold me for wasting food, forcing me to eat leftovers. The past, memories, and present reality collided at that moment. I just felt a deep sense of irony. It turns out my parents believed in tough love education. So all these years, they had been pretending to be poor, thinking about the tragic 18 years I've lived, only to find out it was all a lie. At that moment, they decided to tell me the truth after school started, but they didn't know that I only had 1 month left to live. I returned home in a daze. Soon after, my father came back with a box of chicken bones. I immediately understood it was the leftovers from their meal. Then my mother took out shoes she had picked up from the trash and said they were a gift to celebrate my top exam score. I thought they still cared about me, so I told them about my illness, hoping they would help with medical expenses. But as soon as I finished speaking, the adopted son came over. He accused me of having a messy private life at school, saying I might have a disease and was asking for money. My father immediately believed the adopted son's words and took a whip to beat me mercilessly in the end. He left with the adopted son, leaving me behind. Luckily, the neighbor found me in time and sent me to the hospital. But I knew that once my parents returned home and found out I wasn't there, I would be beaten again. So I quickly pulled out the IV and limped out of the hospital. On the way, I ran into thugs hired by the adopted son. Without a word, they beat me up badly. In desperation, I called my parents for help, but they thought I was lying and hung up the phone. The next day, I dragged my battered body back home and coincidentally ran into a teacher from the admissions office. The teacher first congratulated me on being the top scorer, then asked about the injuries on my face. But the adopted son, jealous that I had scored higher than him, slandered me, saying I had been secretly meeting a girl the previous night and got beaten up